Alright guys, Zach Butler here. Just wanted to do a couple of test hands with the Naturia Runick Deck. It's something that's been pretty highly requested. Just kind of like to show some of the basic lines that the deck has. So I figured we'd go over that. But before I go over like actual hands, I just want to show what happened. Like one of the cool things you can do is if you draw Camilla and either Cricket or Blessing, you can actually end on Naturia Beast, Sunflower, and Cricket off of just that. So let's say you open up with these two. You normal summon your Camilla, and you can send your Sacred Tree if you want, or you can send your Cricket. Or if you open up Cricket, you would obviously send Sacred Tree, so you send those. And then you activate your Blessing. Special summon there. And then you would use your Mole Cricket, send two, so let's just say we send these two. Summon your Sunflower from your deck. So you have these three on 3 summons. Then you synchro into your Naturia Beast, which then will trigger your Mole Cricket, because when you summon a Naturia monster from the extra deck, or your opponent summons a monster from their extra deck, you can special summon it back. So then you have these three on your first turn off of just Camilla and either Blessing or Cricket, which means that you still have 3 cards in your hand. But the coolest thing about this here is that you can then on their turn activate your Mole Cricket right away during their main phase, summon another Camilla from your deck, and then you have the Camilla to send to get another Blessing, and then the Camilla can either get back the Mole Cricket if they summon again. If they try to just attack with the Naturia Beast, you can get back the Nat Beast if they summon again. If they attack with Sunflower, same thing. If they try to activate a monster effect, you have the Sunflower to negate, and the Sunflower can actually negate twice because it can mill instead of you can mill 2 instead of tributing once because of Camilla, and then you can tribute the Camilla and the Sunflower as well. So that's just a really like super duper basic line that I was doing a lot actually. Just ending on Naturia Beast with protection and passing over to Kashtira is really good. So that's something to keep in mind if your area is full of Kashtira and you want to play the Naturia deck. But I'll do like 2 or 3 quick test hands. It's pretty late, so I want to get this done. And yeah, so we'll go ahead and cut in half. We're going to roll to see how many we have to mill off the top. Just to keep it honest, we had 4. So our opening hand is Book of Eclipse, Mole Cricket, Runick Tip, Ash Blossom Joy Spring, and Mudora. So it's not the greatest hand, actually, but that's fine, because you can do Mole Cricket to get Camilla effect, send Sacred Tree, which then adds the Blessing to hand. So you've already got that set up right there. And then from there, you can Blessing to summon your Mole Cricket, synchro into your Naturia Beast, which will get back your Mole Cricket. And then you can either activate your Runick Tip or hold it. I'd probably hold it, all things considered. You could even set it and like set the Book of Eclipse, because then at least if you need to summon a monster, you have the tip and you can send them Mudora. But you have the Naturia Beast, the Book of Eclipse, the Ash Blossom, and the Mole Cricket, which can get to the Camilla and get you to more defenses. So that's an example of a pretty not great hand actually. But you still end on Naturia Beast, Mole Cricket, protection, which again, a lot of the times is enough to get you to the next turn. And that's really how you're winning the game with this deck, is you're not doing some like super duper broken 1-turn like OTK combo. You're not like locking them out of the game entirely. You're just out grinding them, because the Runick cards are so good at forcing interactions and replacing themselves that you're just looking to gain advantage and complicate the game state by introducing as many cards as you can from your deck into the game and reducing their number of plays that they have. So let's do a couple more hands. So we have 7. Let's see. We have Tree, Camilla, Blessing, Sunflower, and Destruction. So this is an example of a hand that can go a multitude of ways. I'd probably lead with Destruction, summon Hugin discard Tree to add the field spell. And then off of the tree, you can add your Mole Cricket. So now you have those. Yeah, you're gonna want to add your Mole Cricket. You can either add Mole Cricket or Blessing. The other one, you're just gonna grab the other one off of the Camilla. I think I probably had Blessing actually, just so that way I have 2 blessings. Summon Camilla effect to send another tree to get another blessing. Drawing the sunflower here is pretty awful, but it's okay. You're gonna be, I mean, you'll be all right, but it's not ideal. So then you can blessing to summon your Mole Cricket from your hand. And then let's use Mole Cricket's effect, and we will mill 2 as substitute. So we mill another Camilla and a Freezing Curses. And we're gonna summon another Camilla. So here, we're actually really kind of hoping we get lucky and draw a Runick spell off of our Stardust Charge Warrior that we're gonna make. Let's see if we can get lucky. So we'll synchro, and we're gonna cut in half and do 7. So this will be our draw. Let's say our Charge Warrior summons, and the summon goes through, the effect goes through, and we draw into Mudora. So not ideal. So here you can still go, well, before that actually we'd synchro these into Baron, and then you can blessing to summon back your Camilla, and you can end on blessing Beast. And still, I mean, you have infinite spell negates and a monster negate. Not the greatest, but you could still do a lot with that. Let's try one or two more hands. I'm trying to get one really good hand here where I get to end on like everything. But again, like that's an example of where you're just doing enough to get by, because on their turn, if they summon from the extra deck, you summon your Mole Cricket back, and then the Mole Cricket can summon a Camilla, which will then get you to your 3rd blessing because of the 3rd tree. You have your Naturia Beast that can be brought back off the Camilla. You have Baron to protect all of your setup. So you're able to protect it and then force them to interact with all of your layers of disruption, and eventually they just run out of options, and that's when you stop activating your runic spells and you actually just start winning the game like through life points. But so we have Destruction, Flashing Fire, Sunflower again, Agido, and Sacred Tree. So this hand is actually very good. Let's go ahead and activate our Flashing Fire to summon our Hugin, and we'll discard our Sacred Tree. So we'll add Fountain, and then we will add Camilla off of the tree. So we'll summon Camilla, send Tree to add Blessing. So this is one of the cooler ones you get to do. No, I think it's cooler at least. Potentially. You have a couple of different lines you can do here, actually. So let's see, we'll synchro. So you could synchro into Charge Warrior and try to draw a card and see if you get lucky there. Or you can go Coral Dragon and use Destruction to summon Jerry, draw 2, and then draw 1 off of that. I think it's smarter to do that. So we'll go Coral Dragon, activate Fountain, activate Destruction, summon Jerry. So our ceiling isn't like the craziness of this line isn't as high, but it's a much more stable line. So then actually off the chair, I'm skipping steps. We use Fountain to draw 2 by putting back our 2 spells, and we draw Keldo and another Camilla. So that's actually pretty good. And we'll synchro into Baron here, and we draw into Kelbeck. So we're going to be milling a ton of cards. We're going to activate Keldo, discarding Kelbeck, and we'll add Mudora. And then we're going to mill 5 off of the Kelback. Let's see, 9. And then we have our Keldo in the field, and now we'll mill our 5. So mill Mole Cricket, Flashing Fire, Ash, Runick Destruction, and our 3rd tree. Tree is actually exactly what you wanted to mill here, because now you can get to your to another copy of Blessing. So you actually can just continue to play, which is really obnoxious. So then let's go Mudora, discard Agido, summon, and then Agido, mill 5. So you might be wondering, like, what's the point of doing all this? You don't have any way to get to your runic spells. It's really just about getting to more cards, because now you would overlay these two into your Dagaris. You can actually your Dagaris here to draw 2. And I think you discard 1, right? Yeah, you discard 1. So you discard your Sunflower. So now we've gone through all of this in our deck. And we still actually have a Slumber for their turn as well. So here you can actually do quite a bit. Because if you wanted, you can end on Naturia Beast with a Cricket as well, which seems pretty good. Because you would just double Blessing, and then those blessings will get you to the 2 pieces there, and then you can synchro into Beast that way. Or what I think is better is you hold those. You actually set both of your blessings, because you have so much left in your deck. You can actually just like activate your Midori here and start putting back pieces like 2 trees and is there anything else that we want to put back here? There's just so much going on. Yeah, we'll put back we'll just put back all 3 trees, for example. So you put back all 3 trees, and then on their turn, when they draw for turn, you can Blessing, summon back Camilla, and Camilla will then, of course, send a tree, which can get you to another piece, either another Blessing or Camilla for a follow-up. If they summon a monster at all, Camilla will trigger, and you can decide to either summon your Sunflower or your Cricket. And what's important about that is that if you summon your Cricket, so actually, we're going to change something. We're going to do this. We're going to say that we actually put back a Sunflower. So let's say they summon a monster and they and you summon back your Cricket. Well, then you use your Cricket and you mill 2, and now you summon your Sunflower. Sorry that this is so kind of like freestyling. I have not really been paying attention to all the lines. Like a lot of it just kind of happens as you go, and you kind of just like have a feel for it. So here you can activate Blessing and synchro into your Naturia Beast if you know that they're going to continue to do spells, and then you also have the Sunflower as a negation. Or you can summon a Barkion if they like if you end up playing against like Labyrinth, you can quick synchro into Barkion on their turn, and you can pass turn with that, and then you skip your next draw phase. But you have Baron, Barkion. This can summon monsters, and you have a lot going on. So we'll do one last hand. Hopefully this is somewhat helpful. My apologies if it's really kind of rambly. Kind of doing this as I go. We're just kind of just picking it up and seeing what happens. A lot of it is getting a feel for what your opponent's doing and kind of how they're reacting to your plays and things like that. So it's kind of hard just to be like, this is what you would do in all situations, because a lot of it depends too on on what you're trying to play around or what you think you're trying to force. So let's see, 7. One more. Let's see. So we have Flashing Fire, Destruction, Freezing Curses, Ash Blossom, and Book of Eclipse. This is just a very large runic hand. There really isn't much to say about this. You just do runic stuff. So we'll do one more hand that isn't that. Sacred Tree, Eclipse, Blessing, and Mole Cricket. Okay, so we're just gonna be having the rough hands. This is where you do the Mole Cricket combo with just itself, where you summon, send, and then you just end on Naturia Beast Mole Cricket. There's one more shuffle. This might be. I think this is the way of the world telling me it's time to go to bed. Let's see. We have to do 7 off the top. 7. Let's see what we get. Something good. One more good hand. Flashing Fire, Slumber, Destruction, okay. Book of Eclipse, and Mudora. That's actually pretty good. So you could go a few different directions with this. I think I would lead with Destruction. I would lead with Destruction specifically because it is the weakest of all of the spells by itself. Summon Jerry, and then you summon Mudora. The reason for that is because you're going to make a Dagaris the Timeless, and you're just going to activate its effects, see what we draw. We draw a Sacred Tree, and we draw Slumber. That's pretty awesome, actually. Because then we have to discard, so we'll discard our Sacred Tree. Sacred Tree will get us to Blessing. And the reason for that is because we're going to have a good percentage to see a Naturia monster in our next line. So we want to make sure to maximize the amount of blessings that we've already seen. So now we'll Flashing Fire for Hugin. And we'll discard Slumber. And because we're living in a perfect world in this sense, our Fountain goes through. Or our Hugin goes through. Although, to be fair, they probably would have used Ash, Imperm, Valor, whatever on your Dagaris. So if you get this far, you're probably gonna, most of your plays are gonna go through anyway. We're gonna take 11 off the top. And now we will activate Fountain. And we'll activate Slumber. We'll just target the Hugin here just for the sake of doing it. And now we've used every runic spell that we have in our graveyard, we've used. So we've used Destruction, Flashing Fire, as well as Slumber, so that's something to keep in mind. And we'll draw 3. So we draw Ash, another Book of Eclipse, and Evenly Matched. So not terribly great. You're not doing much. Neither are they. Like, they'll have to play through 2 Eclipse and an Ash Blossom. But remember, you are skipping your next draw phase, so that's not ideal. Alright, last hand, because that was pretty absurd. Let's just see if we can get one good combo hand going. Want to draw some cards and summon some synchro monsters and do all that crazy stuff, and then, you know, have that awesome deck that seems to do pretty well, but not when you're trying to show it off. It's also the problem with doing test hands is they always tend to not work when I'm on camera, and I don't want to edit out a million different hands, so I'm just kind of doing it as we go. So we have Book of Eclipse, Flashing Fire, Book of Eclipse, Flashing Fire, and Ash Blossom. Okay, we're just going to put this one at the bottom. One more time. Camilla, Eclipse, Keldo, Tip, and Sunflower. So that's not terribly great, but it's not awful. You can summon your Camilla and send your tree, which gets you your blessing. So then from here, I would probably go Tip, search for one of the ones that's going to be useless if I draw it on its own, so it'll be Destruction. Activate Destruction's effect, and I would discard off of the Hugin. You can either discard Keldo or Sunflower, it really depends. Probably Keldo. Search for the field spell. And then you're going to Synchro into Charge Warrior and Pray. This is very much a Charge Warrior and Pray type hand. Another 7. Oops. We'll shuffle it up again. And we'll do 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll Synchro into Charge Warrior. And where are you? There you are. And then we'll draw. Destruction. Okay, that is very good. That gives us at least the ability to play. So now we'll activate Fountain, and we'll activate Destruction. Destruction will summon Jerry, actually, because we can make a Dagaris. So we'll do 3 back. Draw 3, so we draw Mole Cricket, Kelbeck, and Blessing, so we don't even need to do Dagaris in the way we were going to. We'll summon Camilla, Synchro into Baron, and then we can go, you can either, you have a couple different options here. You could Blessing to make Camilla, and then you can mill 5, like draw 2, discard 1, mill 5. Or you could Blessing to Camilla and Foolish Burial, like Mole Cricket, and then on their turn, like you can do that on their turn, and summon it back that way. I think that's probably the better play. So you'd set both of these, and you would just pass with this. And like this doesn't seem like a lot, but on their turn, you Blessing, you bring this back, you send your Mole Cricket. Now, if they summon a monster, you get back your Mole Cricket, which, sure, doesn't sound that insane. Then Mole Cricket activates its effect, mills 2. In that case, you milled Nagito because you're insane. You summon another Camilla. Agito mills 5 more. And let's see what we mill here. 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have a bunch of spells for later on. But you have Jerry to destroy a monster. If it's destroyed by battle, you have your Baron to negate. You also have your Book of Eclipse to protect. So you have multiple layers of protection going on there. But that's just a couple of really random free hands that I've done with this deck tonight. I'm happy to do them with like the Punk deck and stuff if you guys want. Let me know down in the description, or let me know down in the comment section below what you would like to see me do combo hands with. It's been something that's been really requested, and I personally just enjoy shuffling cards and doing these kinds of hands and thinking about it. So let me know down in the comment section below if there's one you want me to do, whether it be like the Punk deck, a Sprite deck that I've been working on, the Kashtira Punk deck, pure Kashtira, more of the Runick deck. And if you guys want to buy any of the cards you've seen in this video, please use my affiliate link down in the description. A portion that goes to the channel, so you're helping me by helping yourselves. And until next time, have a wonderful night, guys.